do you had any sort of a relationship during your preparation time?
Say that the more times you read NCERT, the more information you get out of it.
A typical day of yours is in AIIMS, like starting from opening to.
I wasn't even the best memorizer or like best IQ person. Biology section almost 100%, and in physics and chemistry 90-95%, somewhere around that. No, definitely not a myth set up by coaching institutes.
Hi Soyeb, how are you?
Hello Ayush, thank you for having me, and I feel really great, coming into this interview.
Okay.
And
So Soyeb, I welcome you to this session with me, where I will be asking you some academic questions so that it can help our NEET aspirants as well. And don't worry, we will be asking you some funny questions as well, so as to keep up the session interesting as well. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. So Shoaib, as we know that in NEET, everyone's saying just one thing: NCRT, 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 right? So I just want to ask from you that do questions really come from NCRT? Because everyone's just saying NCRT. So do questions really come from NCRT?
so it's not a myth, it's actually a reality that's coming to surface more recently, because prior to that, one or two, let's say max 3 or 4 questions came out of NCRT, and that was the point which most people used and said that no, like the questions also come from outside NCRT, so we have to prepare a lot of extra materials as well. But now, like as far as the trend has been going on since the last 4 years, what I have seen is like we have got almost 100% questions out of NCRT, particularly in biology section, almost 100%, and in physics and chemistry 90-95%, somewhere around that. And whatever questions are out of NCRT, they are not actually out of NCRT, they are based on concepts which have been given in NCRT.
Okay, so you mean like that it is not a myth, it is very correct fact that NCRT is super important for NEET. Okay. Yeah, cool. So let's move on to our next question. Like I want to ask you that whenever a student performs any mock test, like gives any mock test, so it becomes very important for him or her to analyze those mock tests, right? And you'd agree that analysis of mock test is way more important than attempting the mock test. So how do you use to analyze your mock test, and would you like to give any tips or advice for our aspirants so that they can get the most out of it?
Yeah, like my advice is simple, just analyze the whole paper, see whatever mistakes you have done. Sometimes what happens is we might have a doubt on a question and we might mark something without knowing the exact answer, and it happens to be correct, so we tend to ignore those questions as well. So we have to take that into account. You have to take all incorrect questions into account as well as questions that you left. So these 3 types of questions are those which you need to focus on, and then you need to find out like which topic am I lacking on, or which subject or which topic, because subject is actually a broad thing, so you will get to know that in, let's say, 5 or 6 mock tests. You'll get to know that this might be the subject, like I may be a bit weak in physics, I may be a bit weaker in biology. But from an individual mock test, I would say you can definitely identify the topics, the subtopics, or even a particular concept as well, like this concept in electrostatics, like I don't get this thing right, like this 2-block problem in friction, I don't get this thing right. So you need to identify those gaps, and you just need to work on them. You need to practice more questions, you need to practice same type of questions or any kind of questions that may be possible from that topic.
Okay, cool. So we have got a lot more information from you as well. Okay, so now move on to the next question. So I know the question I'm going to ask you is pretty very much common, but I need to ask you. So did solving previous year questions help in your preparation?
Yeah, see, previous year questions are like they're giving you a kind of template. So like if you have an idea from where the questions are coming from, you can actually go to those topics, you can actually prepare them better. See, like however intelligent you are, you tend to have those fixed spots or say fixed topics which you are more stronger at, and some a bit topics or some subtopic where you might not be very strong. So you need to be clear in your mind, like where should I focus on more, or where should I focus on NCRT more, where should I focus on getting the questions correct, where should I focus on numericals more. Some chapters are more numerical oriented, you have more questions coming which are you have to solve, which you have to do some numerical, and some chapters are like you have to just memorize whatever is given in NCERT. Some chapters are like you don't even need to go through the whole NCERT or text, you just need to do the tables, the graphs and the diagrams properly. So you have some, like you'll figure that out. Like if you practice the previous 10 years question, you have a pretty clear idea about how you should prepare a chapter, how you should prepare a topic, and I think that's the main reason why you should do PYQs.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. So, Shoaib, as an All India rank one, so, okay, did you adopt any habits, any specific habits to increase your memory power and retention? Because is there any hack? Because our aspirants would love to know if there was any.
No, like there isn't any hack to automatically increase your memory power or something like that. And I honestly I wasn't even the best memorizer or like best IQ person. Like what I did was I constantly tried to improve on everything, like improve on my study time, improve on my habits, improve on question practice, improve on my time to solve one question per question time, and even the whole paper. So like if you like they say na, that compounding takes its effect when you do it for a very long time. So if you even improve like 0.1% on a very long time, like 2 years is a pretty much long time. So if you do that on everyday level, then the results tend to show up particularly in the end, because like the whole year in 11th I've been consistently ups and downs have been throughout my journey, but when I went to 12th my scores dramatically improved, and then towards the end when I was giving final major tests, final mock tests, then I was consistently around like scoring around 700, 705, 690 above. But like in 11th it was not so. In 11th my scores used to fluctuate, like sometimes I used to get scored 680, 690, sometimes I used to get like 620, 600. So they used to fluctuate a lot. But again,
Okay. So Shoaib, I would like to ask you that as we know how much NCERT is important. So what's your take on like should aspirants just be reading NCERT as whole as a book, or should be making notes out of it?
no, definitely active learning is very important here. Like I've seen a lot of people do it. I have done it myself as well. I got to know that that is not the best approach. Like just mindlessly you are just going on reading that same thing, because it's not going to give you anything different another, like if you read. So they say that the more times you read NCERT, the more information you get out of it. Yeah, that's definitely true. But that is only true if you are consistently also practicing questions from it, because that's when you get to know that like this sentence can be framed like alongside this as well, or this sentence can be framed in a different way as well, this sentence can be changed like this sentence can be used in an assertion reason, it can be used in match the following, it can be used in a single word question. So you tend to know like how many types of questions can be made from a paragraph or from a statement, so you get more out of it. So the best way is to practice more and more questions which are based out of NCERT.
Okay, cool. So we get to know that reading NCERT whole as a book, it's good, it will benefit you, but it's not the complete thing. You should focus more on active recalling the stuff.
Yeah, because passive reading will because you're doing the same thing over and over again and trying to expect something different, but obviously that will not happen.
Okay. So Shoaib, as you are currently in AIIMS Delhi, so I just want to ask you, like when you qualified the NEET exam by getting the obviously All India rank 1, so what was your first experience when you stepped onto the beautiful campus of AIIMS, and how's life there?
Yeah, like it's not very different in the, at least in studying sense, because we still have to study, but that pressures is definitely not there. Like we used to feel a lot of competition while we were preparing for NEET, because we are surrounded by a lot of people who are preparing. Like even if you see, like I was preparing in Kota, so there are around 3 to 4 lakh students, like half or even more of the population is made up of students. So you step out of your home, you go to your coaching, you see that sheer volume, so that kind of scares you out definitely, because all of are preparing to some extent, all of them are getting access to the same amount of resources, to the same teaching, so that definitely takes a toll on your mental health, and you tend to fear that somewhere you might lose out on selection, you might lose out on a seat or rank or whatever, but that pressure is definitely not here at AIIMS. You obviously have to study here, in fact more, not less, but that pressure is, yeah, but that pressure is not here.
Okay, okay. So it's better that you are now out of that competitive zone, and now it is a kind of relief for you.
Yeah, more of a learning opportunity, more of a thing where you know what you want to learn, you can go deeper into that. Even you can venture into some research as well. So AIIMS gives you that facility. A lot of peripheral colleges we don't get that. Like we don't get many research opportunities and all. But here, let's say you have a very good understanding of a topic, you want to delve deeper into it. You can approach a specific professor and you can ask them like we can do something. So you can figure some things out.
Okay, cool. So now listening that watch what AIIMS has got into, like you have talked about the research facility and different things. So can you describe how a typical day of yours is in AIIMS, like starting from morning to?
Yeah, sure. Like I wake up at like 7:30 something, 7:30 or 7, and then we have classes sometimes at 8, sometimes at 9. And like if I don't have classes at 8, then I usually go for breakfast. But if it's like a lot of times if we have early morning classes, then we might miss breakfast, and then we come back because after classes we get a break for let's say half an hour, then we can go for postings. Like postings are, we are posted into a ward. Let's say it may be of various departments, it may be like medicine, it may be surgery, it may be obstetrics and gynecology. So any department you are posted in, then you leave for that, and you get to see OPD, you get to see wards, you get to go to the OT as well. And after that, like 1 to 2 is lunch break, and 2 to 5 is mostly practicals for first and second year. In third year we don't have practicals, so we have some additional classes, or we may have some tutorial on a specific procedure, and that goes on until like 4 or 5, after which we are free to do anything that we want.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. So currently you are in third year, right? Okay, so as you have two batches junior to you, so I would like to ask a very fun question. Like we have seen a lot of cases of ragging, like right? So being a senior now in AIIMS, have you ever involved in some sort of ragging or so-called personality development?
No. Like AIIMS culture is quite different. Here we don't even address our seniors as sirs or ma'am. Like a lot of institutes have this culture where you have to address your senior as sir or ma'am. You have to call them out. But here, even if that senior is like 5 years older, or like even if they are postgraduates, we call them by their name. Like let's say I have one senior, let's say All India rank when he was in 2019, Bhavik. So I call him like, hey Bhavik, what's up? Like so it's very informal. Yeah, so you don't have to even like sir and ma'am is not a thing. In fact, they actually frown upon that if you ever call them sir or ma'am. And apart from that, you are basically talking to them as if they are of your like same level. So all AIIMSonians are like considered the same, unless they are a professor, obviously, because that's a different thing. But residents, senior residents, everyone is considered as an AIIMSonian.
Oh, so to be honest, that's a new thing I got to know, because in most of the colleges, there's a culture that you have to address your seniors as sir, ma'am, boss. Or
Yeah, boss. Yeah, boss is a thing as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
boss, yeah, yeah. So as you are saying that in AIIMS, there's no such type of culture. You can
Yeah, this is in AIIMS Delhi. Like I can't vouch for the other ones. Like I've heard that some other AIIMS there too, that same sir ma'am thing is there, but at least in AIIMS Delhi, that's
Okay, okay, cool. So, okay. So, Shoaib, I would like to ask you, like, can you share any funny or interesting incidents that have happened in these 3 years with you during your like tenure in AIIMS?
yeah, not funny, but yeah, we have a lot of fun. Like these days, we are like I got a new PC installed, so like these days we are having a lot of fun. We play FIFA a lot, and because yeah, so we got this console, and so so it got to a point that we were playing like 6 to 7 hours, so I had to uninstall that because like it was like study time was being left out, so finally I had to uninstall for some time, and now it's fine. So now we are doing only 1 hours of per day, something like that. yeah.
Okay.
So gaming has been a passion for me, like even prior to NEET. So I used to play PUBG. So my mom only used to allow me for half an hour per day because I was preparing for NEET. So, but obviously that thing was
Okay, so that's the new thing to catch. That NEET topper also used to play PUBG as well.
yeah. So
Okay. So, so I want to ask you that is the environment in AIIMS is of study only, or you are free to do other stuffs as well, like to pursue your hobbies, your interest as well?
no, a lot of cultural activities go on throughout the year. We have the I'm not actually sure of it, but we have heard that Southeast Asia's biggest medical fest called like Pulse we have at AIIMS. So it's the biggest for at least in medicine. Like IITs may have a bigger fest. I'm not sure of it, but at least in medicine, AIIMS Delhi Fest is the biggest one. And apart from that, we celebrate a lot of festivals here. We also do a lot of like movie nighters, lit nighters, song kind of things. Like a lot of people just come and sing a song randomly. We have that night as well. So a lot of different cultural activities, different people going into like different hobbies. Like YouTube has been a hobby for me. I've been doing YouTube for some time. Apart from that, a lot of skills can be learned here as well. We have our own entrepreneurship development cell. So like
Okay.
kind of like they're trying to build something like the startup incubators at different IITs. They're trying to build that as well. Apart from that, research is a different thing. But again, you asked about mainly hobbies, right? So yeah, we have all sports facilities. We have squash. We have a squash court here. We have a tennis court here. Apart from that, gym facilities are there, and badminton courts as well. So that's it.
Okay.
Swimming
So
as well.
AIIMS has
Yeah.
swimming as well, swimming pool as well. Okay, so AIIMS has got lot of stuff to do other than studies as well.
Like it depends on you. Like if you can manage everything well, that's the best thing. A lot of people do. Like most of the people who come here, they are obviously very talented. Like best of the best. So they know how to manage. They know how to get that a perfect timetable or anything.
Okay. So now I want to ask you a little bit controversial question. Not so controversial, but I guess you. No. Okay, I will ask. But I guess if you would be able to answer it or not. So, do you had any sort of a relationship during your preparation time?
During my preparation time, no. Like I didn't have any relationship during my preparation time because like I didn't have any specific reason. Like because in quota you are always about study, and in quota you don't actually get to do this. Also, I was living with my mom, so like that so strict parents and all. So obviously that was not possible.
So okay. So living with your mom completely prohibited that thing to happen.
Yeah. And apart from that, obviously, even if I was living alone, I might not have gone for a relationship because, like the pressure is insanely high. At least for competitive exams, that cutoffs are high. Like even getting selected is a big thing.
Yeah. I remember like way 3 to 4 years back, getting a score of 600 plus in it was really a big thing. And now I just saw these year's results. Like even on marks of 600, your rank is like above 25,000.
Like someone texted me on like I don't remember, like Instagram or something. They told me that like I'm scoring 600 and I'm getting rank of some 29,000. So he told me that he's so depressed, he wants to leave India. He says like I have to find some way to get out of here. Like, I don't think I can survive here. So like so situation is really bad, honestly.
Yeah. Now the competition is like really insane. You really have to. I just got It's also a thing like those students who have secured 715 marks also, 710 marks also. They are not able to get AIIMS Delhi.
715 will be, I think, the cutoff this year for AIIMS, and even some students will be left out who have got 715. Like because I think it's up to 65 rank is, and top 50 general category top 50 get into AIIMS mostly.
So it's very clear that competition is like really insane, and aspirants need to work really hard.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, like if you have told like if you told this to someone who was like 5 years ago, if you had told this to someone that you have to score 715 to get into AIIMS, then he would have dismissed you as like crazy or something.
Obviously.
But
Yeah, because
but it's a reality. It had to happen because obviously even 21 lakh aspirants are coming into this same exam, so like statistics wise also it plays out, obviously.
yeah.
Obviously. Okay. So, Shoaib, now I would like to ask you that as you are currently pursuing MBBS from AIIMS, so is there any interesting and lesser known fact about AIIMS that you would like to share, which most of the people outside there are not aware?
uh, Not much, like yeah, but the rules here, particularly hostel rules, are like very much lenient, like because you can come you get your own single room and anyone can stay with you, no one would question you, and you can get anything installed there. I have a huge screen, like 80 inches screen installed there, which I use to make my YouTube videos, and I have my whole PC setup, I have cameras, I have ACs installed there, so no one ever questions you anything. You have like, and same for classes as well, like no one will pressure you to come to class, but obviously most of the students attend by their own. You have that 75% thing, like you have to have that 75% attendance, but no one will call you, no one will, because it's definitely college. And apart from that, like a lot of colleges have restrictions, like after 10 or after 11 you can't come into your hostel, but here 1, 2, 3, like in the night, obviously, like anytime you are coming in, anytime you are going out, you are free to do so. And apart from that, in your room as well, anyone can stay with you, and like that's it. So that's that.
Okay.
I don't think like any other college, like even I went to IIT as well, like IIT Delhi, I went to a friend's hostel, so he told me that there are some restrictions there, so like you can't
Okay.
live there, like you can't live if you're not an IIT, and you can't live there for an extended time.
Oh,
Yeah, majority of the institutes, like national level institutes, have these kinds of like rules and regulations as well, and majority of the medical colleges as well have these kinds of rules.
So
like
it's I think only for AIIMS, or I don't know, like some one or two colleges may have, but from what I've heard, like I've only heard at AIIMS,
okay.
AIIMS Delhi is like at next level.
at least
Kind
in
of,
these things.
like as
Yeah.
such. Okay.
So okay. So Shoaib, I recently watched one of your videos on YouTube, right? Okay. So where you said that you were not able to clear the NTSC exam, although you managed to clear like the prestigious NEET exam with an all India rank of 1. So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah, sure. Like NTSC exam usually happens, like I'm not sure if it's still happening. I think it got cancelled or something, right? So I'm not sure about it, but it happens in class 9th. So at that point of time, I wasn't honestly sure as to what I'll do. Like I was still confused between medical and engineering. So, but I still decided to give it, and I wasn't going to any coaching institute. I wasn't preparing for anything specifically. So whatever I had prepared for my final exams and all, so whatever knowledge I had, I just went ahead, and I didn't even get any books for NTSC or like any previous year questions as well. So I just went ahead and appeared for the exam, and obviously I couldn't clear it. So see, what I want to say is, it's not necessary that you will clear everything or that you need to be super intelligent, because if I would have been super intelligent, then I would have cleared NTSC, because NTSC, it's mostly math, science and all of that questions, some mental ability type section as well. So I scored like below the cutoff in all of these, like even in individual things. So like what I got to learn from that, like at this point of time as well, that even if you are not prepared, like even if you're not super intelligent, if you don't think you're super intelligent, I used to think like that when I went when I went to Kota, when I started preparing. So at that point of time, I used to feel that even if I get into any government college, that would be a big thing for me, because I didn't consider myself as worthy of getting a top 500 or even top 100 rank. So at that point, yet I started doing well, and then I finally realized that yeah, I may have a shot, because in my institute I was consistently getting into top 50 ranks. So I figured that, like, then I thought about some ratio, like if top 100 my institutes get selection around 20. Like if 20 students from my institute come in top 100, then I might be somewhere around here. So extrapolation and all, so I figured that out. So at that point of time, finally I gained confidence that yeah, I too might be able to do well.
Okay. Well, listen, well, now nobody is going to ask you about that NTSC.
No,
After you got
no, that is actually a good learning experience. Like that's actually
Yeah.
a very motivating thing for everyone, for me as well. That from where I was, I've come to this point. So that's pretty much.
Okay.
I guess the learning you got from those that exam was the reason you got All India rank.
Maybe,
of
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Shoaib, now I would like to ask you like what was your approach like when you were solving mock papers and you came across any question whose answers you were unsure about? So what do you used to do? Like you just used to completely left that question, or you attempted to do that question?
I made a thumb rule, like if I have doubt in all 4 of the options, like I have no idea about what that question is, then I'll leave it. But if I have doubt in between 3 questions, then also I'll see like if I can eliminate one more, like somehow or
Okay.
do something. And then finally for 2 questions I would definitely attempt one, any of the 2, like whichever I am feeling more sure of. And like that's it. So 4 questions leave, 3 see if you can do something, and 2 definitely attempt. So that was the thumb rule which I made.
Okay, so it's better to avoid the question if you don't know the answer than to get negative.
Yeah, so if you have doubt between all 4 options, leave it. But
Yeah.
if you have doubt in between only 2 options, which is majority, which is the main, like mostly we face that problem. Like we face like 2 options we eliminate somehow, and then 2 options we are very unsure of, like which one to attempt. So again, whenever I got that situation, I used to attempt something, because I thought that would be a better probability, +4 -1. So I'll go for some.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So Shoaib, the questions in the NCRT itself, questions are given at the end of each chapter. Like you were knowing in text questions and solve examples. So what's your take? Like, should any student who is preparing should attempt those questions or solve those questions, or should in fact practice those questions from any coaching modules?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Like that, it's better to do it. And apart from that, they also have some additional exercises. You don't need to do that part, because that's generally a higher level of question. So that doesn't come in NEET. So you can do those simple questions, and if you want, you can also practice from some book or from some app as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, and now Shoaib, we have been seeing like recently statement-based questions are more frequently asked in exams. So what advice will you give to how to tackle those type of questions?
Definitely, you need to be thorough with NCRT. You need to practice a lot of statement-based questions, lot of assertion reason questions, lot of match the following. I used to do a thing where I hid a portion of the paragraph, and I used to try to recall that part in my mind. You can do that as well. Like read one line, hide the rest of the paragraph, try to remember the next line at least, and then proceed forward. Like you repeat that till the whole page ends. So that thing works when you have at least revised it for 2 to 3 times. Then that thing you will start to at least just see a prompt like 1 word or 2 word. Even if you've seen 1 or 2 words, then you might be able to say the whole line yourself in your mind, obviously. So if you are able to do that, then you have got a pretty clear idea of what the paragraph is saying, what the line is saying, or whatever the text is there.
Okay.
So I want to have your opinion, because recently we have seen that new NCRTs have been launched, right? Where they have removed majority of the stuff. Like if I can remember, S-block elements have been removed. Majority of the
Around 30%,
physiology.
around 30%, 30-35% content.
So what do you think? Like that's a kind of a benefit for students, or on the other side?
That's a really difficult question. Like if you are a topper, then you would definitely want the syllabus to be a bit tough and a bit lengthy as well, because you would want to be ahead of the competition. But like if you don't like to study a lot of stuff, if you don't like to practice a lot of questions, if you want to do a specific thing and just focus on, like, see, what will happen is now people who are accurate will score better as compared to people who have more knowledge or people who have studied more. So it's more about accuracy, it's more about timing, it's more about how fast you are able to solve those questions, it's more about how correctly you are able to solve it. So I feel that's the thing. And apart from that, if syllabus gets reduced, then more and more students who are not going into any major institute or any major coaching, more and more students from schools, more and more students from peripheral cities, villages, they'll obviously get the advantage.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because as majority of the stuffs have been removed, so I guess competition would surely increase a lot because now there's a much lesser stuff to read and revise as well. Yeah. Okay. So now we came to the end of this session. So thanks a lot, Shoaib, for making this session so much fun and interesting.
Thank you.
And any last message for all the NEET aspirants who are going to give the exam in like NEET 2024 and beyond that as well?
Yeah, sure. See, it's a hard truth, but majority of the people who are appearing won't get a good rank, at least in their first attempt. So, so you need to be mentally strong. Like, you need to be very, very strong mentally. You need to be prepared for everything. Like during COVID time, so I stayed in Kota. Like, irrespective of whatever was going on, I just shut myself out from the outside world. I thought like I'll stay in my like flat, rented. We had a rented flat. So like I told my mom that we'll stay here, we'll prepare, and we'll just focus on whatever is in our control. Like COVID and all, obviously we can't control that. Like, we can't focus, like, even if we are devoting our time or energy towards that, like even if we are scrolling any news article or trying to find out more about it, we obviously won't be able to change that, right? So focus on things which are in your control, focus on you, focus on improving your everything, like focus on improving study time, improving your habits, improving mock test solving abilities, improving your accuracy, speed. So whatever is in your control, you'll be able to work on it, and apart from that, be mentally very strong and prepared for anything that comes.
Okay. Well, now I would like to guide aspirants that they should learn the amount of dedication and hard work you have shown during your time. And because in these times when the exam is getting so much tough, you need to be more focused, more dedicated.
You need to work even harder than that. Like, I feel like if I would have been in this point of time, then I may not have been scored very well, or I may not have, like, even if see, I got 720, so that's like unimaginable even for me. Like, even to this date, I often feel like it was some kind of coincidence, some kind of luck as well. So yeah, 720 is about luck. Even students who are scoring above 700, that luck factor is definitely involved. So that thing is there, but obviously that's not in your control again. So just do your best. And
Whoa. Like before you, there was not even a single student who used to score 720. You were the first one to score 7 full marks, like 720 on 720. Yeah. Okay. So thanks a lot, Shoaib, for making this session so much fun and interesting. And I hope you are enjoying well in AIIMS.
yeah, I enjoyed this conversation as well. Thank you, Ayush. You have been an amazing host. So
Okay.
That's-
Yeah.
Cool. So see you soon, and all the very best for your future endeavors. Yeah. So, okay, sure.